Hey, oh, yeah, I know. The first video was like, it was already long. I still got more to say. I mean, yeah. S100 Purple Fire Quo have more to say here. Yeah, let me see if I can get some people here online. So let's see. Yeah, let me check it out. Yeah. So let me see if I can get. No, it seems like I can't get myself online with other people. It seems but private. I don't know why. You let me see. See, we have stuff to talk about. Don't worry. Yeah, a moment. I just wanted to see if I could get people to actually watch. Let's see. I'm not sure. We're almost there. Yeah, I'm almost that's just really fascinating. Okay, well, I guess I could do this. Hmm. Have an idea. Okay. Bear with me 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. I think I got it. So I want to try to start just a little bit different. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I I just want to let you know that it's not about a lesson. It's not about the correction, but the real moment about the message shares. It's not a theory. It's what we live in. It's something that I've been navigating for years. Today hit me again. Well, I'm bringing this for my world for just let me bring you to my world for a second. Being that people when we communicate to each other, we're not just typing words, we're translating things from ASL to in the written writing of English. It's two completely different culture, different structure, different grammar, different rhythm, different meaning. And so when I send a message, you read it in English, but it's still coming out American Sign Language. It's where things shift. It's because sometimes my mind is very clear on that thing, but when you read it differently, sometimes this is important, this is important, but that's not required. It means two different things, but it doesn't feel the same for a lot of people. One sounds like a carrier, and the other one sounds like a controller. But it's just that one word. That one word could change the relationship for many people. Oh no, I was trying to
Santa
like
FaceTime
navigate
video.
again and again and again. About translating, trying to explain what that means, what it meant. And someone, well, what did you write? What's the truth? And you're reading it correctly, but it just means something different. It's that gap. The gap from the intention to interpretation. So I'm asking people to go deeper. Why the ASL can hold so many different meanings? One word in English can hold so many different signs. Meaning, we don't live in just one word. We live with face, the body, the energy, the timing. ASL is visible. English is more aligned. And so when I type, I lose the tone, the expression, the meaning. And when I'm reading, it sounds really incomplete for some people, and people react fast on that. But really, I'm trying to say it clearly. Deaf people can read, deaf people can write. It's not about the intelligence, it's about the culture, it's about the language, it's about effort. You know, and sometimes people say, oh, you're deaf, so you need the interpreter deaf for you. No, the interpreter is there for the communication aspect for the both of us, for all of us, so that we have some share of understanding, share the responsibility, but not just one side. It's a collaboration that we come together and let's help each other understand each other. But hopefully, it's not perspective of weak but strength to be overestimating. Just because you can hear it doesn't mean you know how to listen. And I'm thinking listening is collaboration, not automatic. So it should go like a little bit back and forth, but it has a different rhythm of understanding and make it clarify to make it that space for clarification. So I think some people try to react too fast in a world where things just keep going fast and fast. Quick message, quick react, quick judgment. But are we really trying to understand and take the time to understand each other? I mean, we can get emotional, yeah, but hopefully we can pause and say, what are you actually trying to mean? And give that space for clarification. Doesn't mean you have to assume the tone and explanation, but understand the intentional promise that most of the time it's not about attitude, it's about translation. It's not trying to disrespect, it's about the language different. So I've been living this for my whole life to try to get people to understand, years to explaining, years to try to connect. And I've been saying it for many years. That's not what I meant. And still, it happened today. How deep that difference is. So I really wanted to shift the moment, but because it's not just about language, it's how we treat each other. This is about the community. This is about the love in our family, in our community, in our church, in our unity. We're really talking about unity. We're really talking about the connection. We're really talking about the love, the real love that requires the patience. That's the real unity that requires the understanding. But sometimes when we care about people and we say require, it gets the communication hard and we shut down and we judge and we assume. If instead, if we slow down, trying to understand what that word means when you say require, help me understand you instead of you said it wrong. That's where I think healing can begin, where the community can grow. Because love is not just a feeling. For me, love is the effort. Love is listening. Love is making a space for everyone, language and culture and access. I strongly believe in that, deeply that when we try to reach each other, try to understand each other, that's actually what love is. And so let's meet each other with grace and patience and understand the intention behind it. Even though we're not perfect, the intention really matters. And I think when we don't communicate, things don't really get better. If we don't get the opportunity to build a stronger trust, connection, and love. But we can build that. So sometimes the feelings it off, and we just need to pause. Don't react immediately. Let's ask them questions. Let's ask for clarification. Let's give it a space. Because clarity really do build the bridge for connection. Assimilation can create distance. And so when we meet each other halfway with patience and care and with real intention, we're building something stronger and better for each other. So I say thank you for your patience, thank you for your love, thank you for your golden light. You know, and I want to say thank you for listening. I know the lesson maybe times a little bit too fast or spoke a little bit too fast, but I had to stay what's on my heart. I had to stay what I needed to share. And somebody called me, said, "Oh, Charlie, interrupt me." I was like, no, I got to focus with you to share what I need to share. I'm going to tell to some people, I tell people all the time, they think I'm amazing and great, and I say, hey, I'm not perfect. You know, I spent some time losing sleep because I really want to find a way to clarify things in the best way. And signing English, oh, but even in that movement, to communicate with the world, to communicate, whether to communicate with my family, my loved ones, my co-worker, you know, different people in the world, And it's not coming easy for how I move. Some people be like, you can move it that fast, but because I care so much, and because I care so much, I have to like slow down at some point. People really want me to move faster, and sometimes I move fast. Like I do some things, I give and stuff, and then when people don't like my gift and it's wrong, and I did the best, then it's like I kind of slow down a little bit. Just right, that right. Because I don't want things to blow up. I wanted to try to find a way to keep the peace and love. You know, I found myself in some situation where we're trying to move forward, but the world's not ready. So I have to slow down and be patient until the world is ready for connection. You know, I'm hoping that people can really listen to us. You know. She said, I love your message and your shining stars, and I wish the whole world could hear you. Thank you. So, um, I really wish the whole world can hear me. I'm going beyond my presence and my bodies. I'm going talking for my spirit. I, I see this happen to a lot of people, and it's also like, especially in my black community, where they're being oppressed, and I want to see that we come together. I really do. I want to come together with my people who I love so much, and that sometimes, when you do sign language in writing, what did you say? What do you mean? What I say? Let me look. Well, we start getting nervous when we type. You know, I have this thing. I promise you. I'll be like, I wrote some good stuff. It's really good. And then I'm doing my thing, and I look back and like that. Why stuff so bad? And then I sign it in ASL. It's really great. It's really amazing what I just said. Oh, it's not really easy right now. Signing and speaking at the same time. There's a lot going in my head. There's a lot happening. And sometimes people will say that when I sign, sometimes I might drop what I'm talking, or sometimes when I'm speaking, I might drop what I'm signing. And so it get like start competing with each other sometimes, not all the time. Oh, but at this moment, I think it's okay to be connected. Well, what happened one of the days I'm a little bit more tired? What happened one of the days that I think get a little bit overwhelming? Possible that I'll be dropping one or the other, or even both. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this out there for people because I'm really hoping that people will take a moment to learn about deaf culture, to learn sign language, and so when they sign it and they're gonna be like, oh wait a minute, I wrote something different, and I'll be like, see. I'm not gonna say I told you so. I'm more like I'm happy that you understand better. You I really do. Mm. Yeah, there's some people type into me. Uh, some people type into me, so I'll respond back about what I'm talking about right now. Uh, so pretty amazing. See people agree with me on so many things with this. But I want to say that it's so important for me to make sure that there's more clarity, because one word can change a person's life. One sentence can change the person, change your relationship. So we need to be really, really patient with each other and watch where we stay. Some people, when they work with me, some people in my meeting, sometimes they're working with me for my organization. They say, "Oh, I'm just staying." I'm like, "Please don't just stay. I really, really need to understand what you want, what you're doing, what you need. If you want to just stay out loud, what's the intention for that?" You know, and because I feel like word has power. Uh, Word can lead to things, and so when there's miscommunication, some would say miscommunication is death to relationship. I have that experience. I have like the worst moment of my life when I had a BlackBerry, and at that time you couldn't edit things, and so I'm like to my friends, my family, it's just something completely different. I'm like trying to fix that. They're like, too late. You know what you did. I'm like, my fingers sometimes they're too big. You know, sometimes it goes this way, that way. Wait, for some reason it stands already. I'm like, man. So sometimes miscommunication it breaks people's trust. So you have to really, really want to build the connection of clarity. It has to be a collaboration. But some people don't realize why, sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to say nothing because I want to make sure it's good. I think prefer to dance and move because miscommunication can be death to relationship or it can break trust faster than we can build it. So I try to keep it a different mind frame. I just try to be out there, try to be fair with people to try to understand their intention. Yeah, I think that really means a lot for me. I'm trying to talk about emotional impact. So you might start doubting yourself. So, for example, you tiptoed out there to express yourself. I won't say do that. I suppose say, be considerate of what you say. My mother, when I was growing up, would be like, you need to stop to think before you say, right? So I do that, and it would get me to a space where it takes me a little longer to communicate with people. Right now, it's kind of like a movie fast. I know what to say, blah blah blah, but I'm just improvising what I'm saying at the moment, just going from my heart to speak the truth. But sometimes when I'm saying something and then I try to type it, it's not coming out the same way. So, so it's kind of like you say, what did I do wrong again? But mind you, I could do a really great job writing grant and teaching grant and storytelling. I could do a great job, but it requires me time. People maybe don't realize that's the opportunity to request when you have to do grant writing. You request for more time for the disability. You know, often for me, I don't really have a lot of time, so I don't really request for a lot of time because I have so much to do. So it's like I have to try to get it done now. It been some things till I have to like take care of some of my family, so I drop this and they don't help it. They're like, I gotta come back to that. What did I left off? It's challenging. And I don't mind if you're being patient with people with foreign language that speak Spanish and they translate some things to English that might sound a little off, but Spanish and English can look alike, you know. And when we read our own language in Spanish, so it's supposed to be in English grammar, we're like, there's nothing wrong with that. And they're pointing like, no, the sentence doesn't sound right. When you read it, say it out loud, it makes sense. And it's like, no, no, look closer. And you look closer, it still makes sense. And so y'all lost your mind, y'all crazy. And so you get a little bit closer. Oh, now everybody else like views the perspective that lost it or something that can be negative. But I'm hoping people can be more positive to uplift and say, it's okay. We understand your intention. So, yeah. I'm not trying to be like a radio station, be just talking, but I really want to help people out there. I want to help people out there that they could just give that moment and patience with each other. Uh, You don't need to have that patient right there, but at least pause, and know there has to be real love there. And you know what? Someone might say, "What love got to do with it?" But love have a lot to do with it because the intention behind it got to be coming from a place where you want to heal, and a place that you want to build up. And what strong motivation can carry that love? Um, yeah, but that's a little bit harder. I think people make it so easy that they say, "I hate you so fast," and then "I love you so slow." But I want to talk about responsibility. Communication is not just my responsibility as a deaf person, but all of us. You know, um, I think that responsibility goes to all of us. You may be expressing your feeling, somebody's trying to absorb it, and then they go, "Oh, okay, I understand." And when they say something, and if it comes off where it's not matching what you feel and you feel like you understand, there might be just a wait opportunity there to say, "No, that's not what I'm trying to say." Boom, she could tell you what she's trying to say, explain it or reframe it in a different way. It's really a big collaboration of trying to help people understand your feelings. Doesn't matter what age you are, there's the opportunity. It's always opportunity. You know. But if they're not ready to express their perspective, the feeling, can't force people because if you do, it may come out the wrong way. So yeah, I'm trying to bring this to the community, bring this to the community where we can meet halfway. Yeah, and what's another thing that comes up to when you try to resolve things? Sometimes time doesn't allow you to get that space. We're having a competition with time and clarity. So we gotta be like, we have to do it now. But if you're in a situation like me, sometimes you want an important interpreter, uh, a good interpreter that can fit your need, and your communication event might be like you want this tomorrow, but they're not available till next month. What do you do? Try to look for somebody else, right? Just actually, maybe nobody else. Um, Someone that you could trust with the communication last time. You know how many black interpreters out here in the Bay Area? Not a lot. And so it's like if you go to the economy show and a black person is talking, hitting off different jokes, and if a person is white and they missed the punchline, you won't get that joke that you would actually get as the black person. So what did that mean for the space that you're trying to have a conversation with people and communication? That's that. You just blame anyone, it can cause more damage than uplifting and healing. So I mean, put me on the radio to listen to this if y'all listening. Put me on the TV to watch me on the because I really want to help people understand that sign language is not the same as English. And sometimes I be writing in English, it come out in ASL grammar, but you guys don't see that, so you read it in English, and it's like, what is this person talking about? And it means absolutely something different. It does, it's just unfortunate. It's not always easy, but it comes a little bit easier when people understand the culture, and then I got you, I got you. But they got to get used to understanding that, yeah, it's challenging. So, yeah, oh, we need each other. Maybe they'd be like, I don't need you, but uh, five finger. Of course, you don't need all five. But I will tell you that I'm you to my five finger. If I lose one, I have to work hard to change everything. And it's just not mentally, it's not just physically, but also spiritually too. So it could be unsettled in your spirit for a change. It doesn't mean that the world is bad. Like some people, they lost their hearing, and later in life they become deaf, and they miss how living in their life with hearing, be able to balance in different ways, be able to do things in different ways. And I would tell them there's nothing wrong with being deaf. It's beautiful being deaf. But I will emphasize that you're struggling to a new world, a new culture. And I will run with you. Whether you know sign language or not, it can transform your whole experience to communicate, even in writing. Maybe you can hear you had a good English writing, but after hearing law, it may change the way you speak. It change the identity. So that's 28 minutes of sharing this. I'm gonna try to get up to close to 30 minutes. Yeah, just my final minute. Or what I have to say. Uh, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just always want to be honest in this moment because this is part it becomes really more personal. When miscommunication keeps happening, it doesn't just stay with words, it starts affecting you. You start questioning yourself. You start thinking, what did I do wrong? Why am I always wrong? Not because you didn't know what's mean, but because you didn't know how you could receive it. Growing up, I was taught stop before and think before you speak. So I did that. I take my time and try to be thoughtful, try to be considerate. But here in reality, it means it takes me time and longer to communicate because it's not just about speaking. I'm translating what I'm trying to express. I'm checking the meaning. I'm adjusting the language. I'm trying to make sure it lands right. People don't always see how that works or how long it takes. They just see the message. But behind that message, there is time and effort and care put it in. Putting in that time. I know I could write graph really good. I know I could teach. I could tell story. I could do all of that well, but it requires time. In real life, we don't always have time too. I get it. Life is moving. Family needs you. Work needs you. People need you. I get it. So sometimes writing in between those moments is dropping something. It's just coming back to it, and I'm trying to remember what you meant. Now, these messages about change, messages change. And somebody read it, react. You're like, wait, that's not what I meant. That's the emotional part that people don't see. And over time, it becomes exhausting. It's costing your health. You start to slow down. You try to be careful, but you're unsure because you really care. You care so much that it's like it's hard to move. And that's why I try to take my time. I try to correct everything that I can because I want peace and clarity and correction. But communication is just not just my responsibility. We have to meet halfway for all of it because it belongs to all of us. That's why when one person speaks, the other person receives, we'll go back and forth with tenor and start making progress from many points. But it feels something off. But we have some opportunity here to say, can we have it another way for clarity, for better understanding? That's collaboration. That's how communication grows. You just have an opportunity to say, yeah, sometimes it's going to be harder, but let's create a space. And sometimes you want to start now, but time is not accessible, and access not available. Maybe you need an interpreter like me, but that's not the right one available till later. Doom, man. Now, in between that time, speed and or clarity, which one? Safe or hard? That's the real challenge, especially in the community, especially in the culture, especially where identity actually matters. Being deaf, Hall of Fame, everything matters. And not every interpreter carry or can make understanding really clear. That's the fix the meaning too. That's what we need this. So what do we do? I guess we have to slow down and wait when we can give us space or we actually meet together for understanding when we can. Because we actually need each other. You can say we don't, that's fine, but I think in some way we really do. I mean, I already explained this about the finger, how it functions, but let's just work a little hard from the heart. So everything with more effort. I'm not perfect moving faster. I should be moving faster, but it's just about communicating with myself in a space to help me fly, drive. So why not try to protect it? Yeah. Why not take the time to understand each other from the beginning? Take the time. Because at the end of the day, it's not about just being right. It's about connection. I truly believe that. There's nothing wrong with being there. There's nothing wrong about being here. It's beautiful being you. It's just a different way to experience the world, a different way to express, different way to connect. When people are meeting together for understanding, things come a little bit easier. So please keep trying, keep learning, keep meeting each other halfway. Because again, that bridge is where we need each other to hold everything together. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop here, you guys. I passed 30 minutes. I know I haven't been here for a while. It's because I'm working a lot. I'm trying to get out there and do what I can for family. I'm trying to take care of my damn company. Try to provide more opportunity. I'm trying to make sure make money. Um, Sometimes people don't realize that when I make a event, it costs a lot when you have an interpreter. And so other people they make an event, sometimes they don't have to pay for an interpreter. And so the profit comes to them in that way. But for us, it's like it's an additional thing to our bill. So are we really making profit? But if we don't make any event, so in many ways, you give what I was expecting to be given back. Love what I was expecting to be loved back. They helped carry me through without disappointment. And just communicating with you. And I hope we stick together and work together. Because we can do better together. Yeah. Peace and love. I'm out. Thank you for listening.